What's up? We just came from the dispensary. I just got me a little edible and a little flower. Had a good conversation with my bud tender. That's why customer service is so good. I love good customer service. He got me with this. Let me make sure that's what I got. Yeah. Amaretto mints. It's testing at 35.8%. It's a hybrid. And then I got me some cherry lime. They're so good. Cherry lime. They're like Starbursts. And these are indica dominant, but I'm about to take one right now. And then we're gonna go to Starbucks. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know you stopped by. Like the video while I do this child-proof thing. Usually I just break a hole in it because it's child-proof and I can't do it. I can't. It's a really child-proof. Girl, feeling like my face was about to melt off. I have a little bowl, a candy bowl with my little edibles in there. Well, in my room, right? It's so funny because every time the boys, like, they'll go into the refrigerator, they'll be like, is this infused? Let us know, honey. Can we drink this? Is this for kids? They know. They know. Mm. I'm Martin. Remember? Mm. We came down here to talk about Beverly Hills. We came to talk about Beverly Hills. And then I was like, I need to go to the dispensary. But then I want to go to Starbucks. Girl, Beverly Hills was so funny. When I tell you, that damn Denise Richards, I'm glad she's agreeing to film. I'm glad she's there. That shit was hilarious. Baby, Denise said, you know what you did. No, I really don't. Oh, you know. No, I really don't. I said, come on. You better be high and paranoid. Girl, it's a mess. That episode was so fucking funny. That damn Mad Hatter's party. I tagged Andy in a post and asked him, girl, let's make sure this shit is recording first. Hold on one second. All right, girl. It's working. All right, let's go. I had to eat those those Starbursts. Lost Farms has good. They have a grilled peach. I tried that the last time. Their flavor and the notes really are really good. Like, they're really, really good. They're so good that it makes you want to eat more than you know you're supposed to. So what I just did was 20 milligrams. Remember we were talking about that yesterday? I mean, not yesterday, the last episode when we were talking about Beverly Hills. This is 10 milligrams of THC. 10 milligrams. They were talking about basically half of this. Having half of this. Girl, half. I'm about to eat this other one. Half. Girl, so this, what I just ingested was 30%. I want 30%. It really tastes cherry and lime. I mean, you could taste all of it. I love cherry. Cherry and lime. Y'all remember Jolly Rancher sticks from elementary school and maybe junior high school? Jolly Rancher sticks, and they have pink lemonade. Have y'all ever had a pink lemonade Jolly Rancher? Oh my god, girl! I don't see them anymore. They had apple. They had an apple Jolly Rancher apple sticks, cinnamon sticks, pink lemonade. Girl, they used to be so good. There's nobody on the highway. On the freeway of love in my pink Cadillac. Come on, Aretha. I know it riding don't know. Is that Aretha Franklin? That is Aretha Franklin. Oh, love in my pink Cadillac. Come on, bitch. So last night, well, I watched it this morning. Last night, Beverly Hills came on, and so that's what we're going to talk about right now. Okay? So they were sitting at the table. They start off where they left off. And I love that they kind of went back a little bit, right? They went back a little bit so they can bring you up to speed. And then she was like, Kyle, whatever you say, I'm fine with whatever you got to say, Kyle. I'm fine. And then she was like, just say what it is you're trying to say. I don't like what Kyle is doing, right? However, I understand where Kyle is coming from because she said, I already told y'all I was going to bump like this. Told y'all I was going to. No. She already told y'all that I'm in a low point in my marriage right now. We haven't had the best year. So she did already say something. Now, she hasn't been detailed about it, and maybe that's what the Virgo wants, is some details, right? Ask anybody to talk to me when I be like, tell me what happened. And if it's a phone conversation, I'll be like, start from when the phone rings, start from hello. I need to know all the details. That's me. Start from when you walked in the door. What did you say? You need to remember everything. That's me. So I think maybe, I don't know. At the end of the day, you saw Kyle like motioned over to Faye and was like, well, you know what, Faye, yeah, you went into some details with Faye Resnick because that's your good Judy, good friend. And so then Sutton was like, well, that's probably, maybe we're not as close as I would think we are. And that's basically what it is. But then when Kyle goes to talk to, I was about to call her Anne Marie, when she goes to Anne Marie's house to play pickleball, she says, let me start this off right now. I love Sutton. So her and Sutton are friends. She sees Sutton as a friend. I don't think anything that any conversations that they've had with each other warrants like a dissolution of a friendship, right? Now, I did say last week, I don't think Kyle is really annoyed by Kathy and Sutton's relationship. And I'm going to have to take that back because yesterday, well, I say yesterday because it came on last night. She basically said that, Sutton said that she knew or had experienced what Kyle was talking about when she says that Kathy calls people up and goes off on them. I'm trying to figure out what he wants to do. I'm going this way. I don't want you to think you in my thing because I don't know what he wants to do. See, these people don't know how to drive, and I'm really annoyed with everybody. So she needs to come out. Right. So back up, lady. You see people backing up. What are you doing? Girl. Sutton said that she understood what Kyle goes through when Kathy calls her and goes off about something she's mad about. Kathy will call them and go off and holler and scream and yell and get crazy. And she says when she didn't stick up for Kathy, Kathy called her and basically went off on her. So that's what Kyle says. She knew what's the name was talking about, right? Kyle basically was like a friend. If you're my friend, you're not going to be asking me the way that you're approaching me. You're not going to be asking me like that. I wouldn't approach it like that if it was my friend, basically is what Kyle is saying. I don't think I can fit in there yet. And so then Sutton says, I'm sorry how you reacted too. Kyle says, thank you for apologizing on my behalf, girl. Well, they thought it was basically a cheating gift. I don't feel like you saw, did y'all notice how Dorit threw Garcelle? I don't like what Garcelle did. Garcelle didn't do anything but kind of cut the shit. Like, y'all talking back and forth, not saying anything. I'm just going to tell you what Sutton is talking about. She's talking about your marriage. I don't think Garcelle has anything. It shouldn't be anything directed towards Garcelle, but you know, sometimes they like to package the good Judies up together. So yeah, everybody knows Sutton and Garcelle are cool. They talk outside of the show. They are friends. And they're going to package them up together. But I don't think Garcelle should be held to any account for any of that. She just was like, let's just make it clear since y'all talking in riddles. Yeah, why would you pull in behind me and you're still sticking outside of the queue? I don't like that. Just, girl, I don't like that. Anyways, so you heard Garcelle says, I felt like with my husband, because Kyle goes, so what, did he give you the gift when you knew about it? Like after you knew about it? She said, yeah, like he was trying to lure me back in with this diamond cross that he gave her. And then she says, and then when the guy says, you didn't have any clue, Garcelle. She was like, no, he was in a relationship with a woman for 5 years. Garcelle did not know. She said she did not have a clue. She said she thought she won the lottery with her husband. And she says, and I just figure he's a great dad and an awful husband, a horrible husband. And life continues after divorce. Everybody's like, yeah, life continues after divorce. And then Cynthia chimes in and Cynthia's like, yeah, you know, that's good. But what about being single for a while too? What about that part of the of it, right? Because I feel like all of us can get a man, and she's right. She's not paying attention. How you so in your phone, so bad in your phone, you're in a queue, or that you're not like paying attention and kind of looking up every now and again. We can all have a man. And then you hear Erika. Erika comes in with what a lot of women try to do, is package a fantasy with a marriage. And I don't know if y'all have noticed, that doesn't work. That's not sustainable. You cannot sustain a fantasy. Erika's talking about, I want something in the movies. I want a love affair. Hi, welcome to Starbucks. Yes, may I have a hot, tall oat milk latte, please, with 2 pumps of chai and 2 pumps of brown sugar syrup. And can you make that with no foam at 180 degrees as well? I'm so sorry. Can you see that one more time? Okay, a tall oat milk latte, 2 pumps of chai, 2 pumps of brown sugar, no foam, one at 180 degrees. And then also, may I have a sugar plum cheese Danish warmed up as well? Gotcha. Anything else here? No, that's all. All right, can I have a name for the order? Erika. All right, what's your sign out the window? Thank you. I'm gonna go get my redeem my 400 stars I have now. And so Erika says she wants a fantasy. She wants what she sees in the movies. That's what y'all be wanting. I think at this point in the game, hire an escort to give you that fantasy. If you want this torrid, you know, hot, passionate love affair, bitch, order you an escort. Sutton in her confessional goes, Erika, you've already had the movie love affair. You're like Harold and Maude, just in reverse. And I was like, I've heard that Harold and Maude before. I think that was before my time, before my generation. I felt like that's a baby boomer generation reference. So I was kind of like, I didn't understand it a little bit. So then I was like, I've heard that name before, but I went to go look it up, and it's like a young boy with this older woman in a relationship, girl. So I'm like, what the fuck is Sutton talking about? I go look it up, bitch. I hollered in my bedroom. I was like, these ladies are crazy as hell. You just have it, but in reverse. a Lifetime movie. And then Erika go, I don't care if they're rich or poor. Girl, shut up. Girl, that's a damn lie from the seventh corner of hell. See, I don't like this. I have no problem with houseless people, but hanging around by near like in queues like this where people are trying to, you know, get there. Nobody wants to be bothered. Stop bothering people. Don't do that. Like nobody cares that you are around or whatever, but don't start bothering other people. Like that's where you lose me. That's where you lose me. So she says, I don't care if they're rich or poor. And they were like, Erika, shut up. Like you do care if they're rich or poor. Stop playing these games, right? I'm trying to take my wallet out of my purse. Y'all saw him? You see him back there walking back and forth? I think that's so rude. I feel like it's really rude. I feel like it's really, I don't even know what she say my total was. I mean, what did she say my total was? She didn't say, huh? She said we'll see your total at the bitch, I was saying at the wall. I was about to say at the wall. Erika, you care if they're rich or poor. Erika just wants a fantasy, and that's what I said on Twitter this morning is y'all be trying to package a fantasy with a marriage. And that's why I always say so many little girls have an image of what they want their wedding to be like without any information on what it's like to be in a marriage. You only have in your head a wedding, this production. You have no idea what the pathology of a man is. You have no idea how marriage statistics. You have no idea. All you want is to recreate what you have thought of since you were 7 and 8 years old. That's all you want to recreate. And then you forget that you actually have to like this man. And then men even fall into that. Just tell me to show up. All I'm gonna do is show up. I'll be your placeholder. I really wish y'all would walk down the aisle to cardboard men or to yourself. If y'all didn't think the world would think you were crazy, you would walk down the aisles to yourselves because that's what you really want. You really want a wedding. That's what y'all really be wanting. Y'all really want a wedding. You heard Dorit say she feels like a married single mother. Y'all heard her, right? Oh, okay. And she got all the money. I got 409 stars. She got all the money, girl. She got all the money. Her, however way they get, and they got the money over there at Dorit's house, right? After they robbed her house, she still got the jewelry, and they didn't take her jewelry. Girl, this girl was getting her life together. I don't know what's taking so long. I have no idea. Hi. May I have a napkin, please? A napkin? Thank you so much. You do the same. Erika, you care if they're rich or poor. Stop playing that game. Y'all, you know what? And that's what I was trying to say. I'm glad I didn't forget. I almost forgot. You know the ADD be kicking in, girl. I almost forgot. You driving like a bat out of hell, like you got beef with somebody or you running from somebody. One, what Melody did in taking back her name and rededicating herself or whatever, reinventing herself and taking back her name. And do you see how bent out of shape it's making Martell? Men really feel like they have ownership over you. Why would she change her name? Like her other name meant something. Motherfucker. It was always Melody Rogers doing all the fucking work. Always. doing all the talking, having the builder's license. What the fuck does your name mean? Because how the fuck did your credit drop after you got a divorce? Clown. You really think your name means something? What does it mean now when she's not attached to it? Oh, you want a bad bitch to carry your name. No, motherfucker. Reclaim your goddamn names. Reclaim your names. Stop thinking that you have to, I'm gonna take pride in taking on somebody else's name. Who is this nigga anyway? Who are his people? Shit. Y'all be so happy to take on somebody else's name and don't even realize that that is literally a programming. It's literally a programming. And if you didn't think you'd look like a damn fool, most of you would walk down the aisles to yourself. And that's what y'all need to start doing, is walking down the aisles to yourself and taking your names back and having some pride in your name. What makes his name so motherfucking better than your fucking last name? Hello, I'm asking you a question. What makes his last name better than your fucking last name? To where you gonna change your name? You see how Courtney acted? I'm cross-referencing shows. You see how Courtney took a little offense because Marsupial called that man by his wife's last name? A misogynistic, chauvinistic man calling a man by his wife's last name is an insult. Take your name back. Your name means just as much as his fucking name. Hyphenate your name and your children's names if you're married and you want to do that. If you're not married to that man, don't give your child his name. Don't take his name. And when you're done in the relationship, change your name back. Damn it. So Erika wants a fantasy life, and y'all be wanting fantasy lives packaged in with real relationships with real people, not no fantastical person. Dorit says to Denise, how does it feel to be back? How does it feel to be back? She was like, in her scratchy voice, girl. Dorit says, well, it's so great to be back with everybody. I'm sorry, everybody, I have a cold. But I wanted to say something to Erika. And so Erika's like, yeah, what's up? You know, when we first met each other, you were really cool. But then you turned into something else or whatever. So Erika's like, I don't understand what you're talking about. So she was like, you know what I'm talking about. Erika was like, no, I really don't know what you're talking about. And then somebody was like, well, why don't you tell her what you're talking about, Denise? Denise was like, you know what I'm talking about. You know. Don't act like you don't know. Well, tell us what it is, Denise. Kind of elaborate a little bit. Somebody's like, everybody in the interview is like, girl, what is it? What is Dorit on? Not Dorit. What's the girl's name? Denise. Even the chef was in the back, was like, damn, he's like, dude, Denise Richards is fucked up. You know, they probably have an image of Denise Richards because every boy, honey, all the boys love Denise Richards, especially when she did Wild Things, girl. Hello. And so Erika was like, I'm seriously, I'm not clear. Like, what are you saying? I'll be very clear. I'm very clear. You know what I'm talking about. I was like, oh, she's one of those people who get high and get paranoid. I can't be around those people. If you get high, you start getting high and you get paranoid, go away from me with this, Apollo. I don't have time to be looking over my shoulder at whatever it is you think is over there. Girl, ain't nobody got time for that. They don't. And so everybody's sitting at the table like, what is Denise on? She on something. And the Kyle was like, maybe she partook in whatever it was before she got here. She was on something. She was like, I haven't seen her drink and I haven't seen her eat much of the food. So I don't understand. Girl, it was such a mess. I was in here cracking up. And then she's like, she's high. I don't know if she's high, but she's slurring her words. She was like, you know what I'm talking about. She was like, you really don't know? Don't act like you don't know. You know exactly. And then Sutton in her interview was like, okay, Denise, what exactly did Erika do to you? So we find out later when they were at Denise's house. Remember when they were at Denise's house and they were all sitting at the table and they had a kids table. But Erika was talking about threesomes. And then the kids were like, listen, teenagers, they going to be like, oh, adults talking about doing it. Let's listen to what they talking about. Stuff like that. Like, I can't believe it. And so Denise didn't like that these teenagers overheard Erika talking about threesomes. So that is what she's talking about. I was like, girl, don't nobody remember that. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I said, these bitches is giving a performance here at this damn Mad Hatter's dinner. I told y'all I asked Andy to make an edit. So at the reunion, I want an edit of that party of the side conversations. That's what I want. Because, bitch, okay, so they eat, right? So they're eating. Erika says, I am so confused. I am high and I'm so confused. Basically, like, girl, you are ruining everybody's high with your paranoia and with this, like, you know what you did. No, Denise, I don't know. Yes, you know. You know what you did. I don't. Somebody says, well, give us an example of what she did. They trying to get it out of Denise. Denise is not budging. Her face is literally like that. The twisted emojis face, when they face be like all twisted and stuff. That is literally Denise's face. I was nice to you and you were a bitch to me. Everybody was like, girl, what the fuck is she talking about? Mind you, people are I don't think that they're as high. They're probably more drunk than they are high. Because they wasn't ingesting. Like I just told you. That little tiny thing was 10 milligrams. I was about to say, and half of that is 5, girl, So, whatever. So then Erika goes, okay, Denise, I apologize. And then Denise goes, thank you. You're welcome. She says, thank you and you're welcome. I was like, girl, bitch, you is high. Oh, I forgot I had a latte over here. Ooh, it's extra hot. She knows what I'm talking about. Erika's just a fucking dumb bitch, right? That's what she said. So Dorit comes up to Erika and comes up to Denise. They get up from the table and they go into the bar area. Is your jacket upside down? And she was like, is yours upside down? Bitch, Denise's jacket, she put her jacket on upside down. And Dorit noticed it. And when she walked over there, she was trying to tell her in secret. And Denise, in her paranoia, she was like, is your jacket upside down? She was like, no, for real. Like, girl, I think your jacket is upside down. And so she goes, don't do this. Don't do it. Stop it. And Dorit goes, do what? Girl, when I tell you I had to rewind that part at least 4 times. I kept rewinding. It took me so long to watch that episode because I kept rewinding it, especially when that bitch Erika said insanity. Girl, because Dorit is being real messy. Go back and watch that scene when Kyle confronts Sutton immediately after Dorit tells her. She said, girl, when y'all came back, here's Dorit to Kyle. When y'all came back, I'm going to get back to Denise and Dorit in that damn jacket. Don't do it. Don't do it. She was like, do what? She was like, don't do it. Stop it. She was like, about the jacket? You know what you're trying to do. She was like, girl, what the fuck is this lady talking about? When I tell you Denise was fucked up, I need more dinner parties. They are the best. Invite other people, not just the housewives. Have other people there. More dinner parties, right? Because it's always those dinner parties that just brings everything out. I love the dinner parties. So Dorit goes, girl, wait, I think somebody posted it on the thing. Wait. Here we go. Baby, when I tell you, hold on. Here we go. Insanity. What Erika said, insanity. And I won't let it go. I'm trying to gaslight me. You went in there and said, I said it while I was sitting at the table. I said it when I was sitting at the table. I said, come on, Southern Belle. I said it when I was sitting at the table. I said it when I was sitting at the table. I said it when I was in the room with you quietly. I've been trying to ask you, like, girl, what's the tea? What is going on with you and Mauricio? That's what Sutton wants, the details. She really wants the details. Girl, I was screaming. Dorit was like, do what? You know what you're doing. She was like, what are you talking about? You mean about the jacket? Girl, everybody is so confused. Everybody is so confused. Girl, it was so funny. It was so funny. And then that's when Dorit goes up to Kyle and tells Kyle, she was like, girl, when they came back from the table, they were like, where's Kyle? And then Sutton was like, in denial somewhere. So they played the tape. She did say, she said in denial about something. She said in denial about something. And then immediately Kyle turns around to Sutton and says, Sutton, so what am I in denial about? And then everybody's like, girl, what? Everybody perked up like, what's going on? What am I in denial about? She was like, in denial about something that's going on in your household. Seems like you're in denial. I don't know anything. She was like, you're implying something. She's like, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. And she goes, I said it when I was sitting at the table. You heard her, right? She was like, I don't care where you said. I don't care if you were standing on your head. Well, we all know I can't stand on my head. I said, come on, Sutton, bitch. They're going back and forth. And Sutton is giving Kyle what she wants. And then they doing it to each other. If you don't want to talk about it, I'm a run. We're going to run around this mulberry bush until somebody gets tired and finally says, okay, this is what I'm trying to say. But they are literally playing a game with each other. They really are. And then somebody said with her marriage. And then I feel like Kyle is unhappy. Some marriages go through ebbs and flows, but Kyle doesn't like to talk about personal things. That's what Sutton was saying. Kyle is the main one who is always telling people to just talk about it, let it out. Let's talk about this and that. Lisa Rinna, another one. Own it, own it, own it. You know, they always do that. But when it comes to you, everybody has to play Clue. Don't nobody want to play, figure out, try to get out of Kyle. Kyle obviously doesn't want to talk about it. She's not, everybody knows that there's stuff in the papers, but you don't want to talk about it and you on this show? I'm trying to get you to talk about it. I'm like, that's what I feel like that's what Sutton is trying to do. Right? Okay. So let's keep going. She just feels like Sutton, the girl's unhappy. So they go into the kitchen, right? They move from the bar area over to the kitchen, right? Because Kyle gets upset and she walks away. And that's where she goes, to the kitchen. So they follow her in the kitchen. In the kitchen, she says, I'm your friend. We are cool. Sutton goes in the kitchen too. We cool. And then Erika basically says, well, a friend wouldn't approach me in the same way that you're approaching me, right? And I don't know what's going on with you, or whether you on your first or your fifth drink. She was like, okay, girl. She was like, oh, you trying to say I have an eating disorder? She was like, yeah, you be moving stuff around the table. You be moving stuff around the plate. She was like, I have an issue with my esophagus. Girl, we don't know what it is, okay? I don't know. She didn't say any kind of medical word or name for it. She just said her esophagus problem. And I guess she can't eat certain foods. And she said she has a hard time swallowing. There's sometimes I don't know what it is. I don't know what Sutton is talking about. And it just so happens that Anne-Marie Wiley, she knows the anatomy of the airway because of what she does in her profession. So she was like, I'm trying to figure out what she's talking about. Isn't that ironic? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what she's talking about because I understand. She was like, that's my jam. I understand what's going on in this area because I think she's an anesthesiologist. Is she? I was like, yes, bitch. Okay, girl. Not an anesthesiologist. She's something close to it, but whatever. She puts the tube down the throat when people go under anesthesia. So she needs to know the anatomy of the airway. And so for Sutton to say she has an esophagus problem, the lady was like, is it the sphincter? And she was like, we have different sphincters through our bodies. I didn't know that, girl. I only knew of one sphincter. So Kyle was laughing when they went to play pickleball later. But basically, she was like, I know this is about Kathy. She was like, no, you just made it about Kathy. She was like, no, because And then Kyle says, no, because you're a kiss ass. You're a kiss ass in public, but in private, you're not. No, you a kiss ass in private, but in public, or something. She told her that you be kissing ass in public. Oh, you kiss ass in public. This is about Kathy. And she says, Kathy didn't like that I didn't stick up for her. And she called and yelled at me. And I basically understood what Kyle had been experiencing. Not a white van. I'm looking at it too. And I'm looking at you and I'm looking in your face. Did y'all see the white van? Y'all need better put some signs on the back of it or something. Mm. Yeah, it was like, Sutton likes, Sutton is in social circles, and that Kathy Hilton basically can get you out, really ice you out. Not the shit that Giselle's trying to do over there on Potomac, but on some real social standing shit. Is ice you out of some shit. And Sutton is a wealthy socialite in Beverly Hills. She needs to be in these circles, right? And she's always been friends with Kathy, and she felt like, oh, you didn't say that when we were all together. So that, I guess, at the reunion. And then Kyle walks out of the room. Kathy Hilton, Erika goes, Kathy Hilton can lock you out of social circles. That's how women, female, that's how they are. Like, socially, they don't care about anything else. If I can ruin your name socially and fuck you up socially, I can fuck up your whole shit. And so you don't want to be in a weird relationship with Kathy Hilton, because, girl, she can lock you out of some shit. So Sutton says, you've already lost 2 sisters. What you trying to do? Because you already lost 2 sisters. You're going to lose another one. She's talking about herself. When you get a collective of people after you make a comment and say, oh, come on now, Sutton, I even said, I was like, oh no, Sutton, why would you say that? Sutton went low with her. She was like, and Kyle, how she is about her sisters and how they go in and out of their relationship, and it's rocky and it's up and down. And she doesn't like it. And she mentioned it in this episode. She doesn't like it because when her and Kathy aren't talking, then Paris, Nikki, and her daughters are not talking either. Like, they don't even want to go over there because they feel like, I have to honor my mom. And my mom is mad at her sister. I'm not going over her sister's house. I'm not going over my cousin's house. So she really hates that they kind of do that when her and Kathy are on the outs, right? And then Erika goes over to Kyle, because Kyle she walks out of the room, and Erika says, I'm here for you. And that was kind of low. It was low. I'm not going to even take that. Sutton is my girl, but I'm not going to say that. I was like, damn, Sutton, she went low, because I felt like she could have kept it lighthearted. I felt like Sutton was keeping it lighthearted when she was like, I can't stand on my head, right? Like, I'm fucking with you because I know you fucking with me. But to make that statement when you know that that's something very that's a tender a point for Kyle, right? And so you want to, like, you can poke everywhere else. Like, we friends and we in our conflict. You can poke but don't poke me where it's a sore right there, and it's not all the way healed. Don't poke me there, right? So I felt like that was kind of low of Sutton. I'll have to go with there or go on that. Kyle and Anne Marie, they have a lot in common. They talk about Anne Marie being competitive, and she wants the full rundown of what was happening with Kyle and them. And Kyle prefaced it with, "I love Sutton, so I really do, but I don't understand why she's coming for my marriage the way she is, and I'm disappointed in Garcelle." And so I don't even think that you need to be disappointed in Garcelle, Kyle. When Garcelle said that Kyle be swiping her coochie across the floor, sweeping her coochie across the floor, bitch. Girl, how you coming at somebody for drinking? That was like ponytails and splits. Kyle needs to call something ponytails and splits. A drink. So Crystal, Sutton, Garcelle go out to eat. Denise shows up. I said, this is what the fuck I'm talking. This is Denise Richards I know, bitch. She pulls up, her hair's bouncy. She got this little blazer on, these jeans on, and a little crossbody. Looking real cute. I was like, yes, Denise. Not this, like, literally super casual girl. I was like, that's what the fuck I'm talking about, Denise. Push through. She had her little, I think she had like a little white tank top on with her jeans, a blazer on, and a little crossbody. I think it was a YSL bag. It was cute. She looked cute. And they was like, this, she looked much better. Why they do a side by side? I said, these motherfuckers is messy as hell. She basically said it was for Erika talking about sex in front of the children. That's basically what her problem with Erika was. And Erika hasn't apologized for that. Dorit and PK sit down. Dorit wants the kids to stay in homeschool. PK says no. PK says that the children need to have social relationships. They need to be in relationships. He was like, I feel like you trying to keep them around you is for you and not for them. I felt like he was wrapping her up with that. But she came back and was like, you want to come in and basically think that you know how these kids, what these kids need, and you don't be around enough. I feel like a single mother when he's out of town, right? Even when he's there, she was like, because he was asked her to make him some tea. And then she was like, oh, I think I put too much milk. And she said something like, you've never made tea for me or something like that. That's y'all be going for that. No, you can make me some tea. Y'all be going for that. Y'all be playing into that role, and then you want to complain because you're so fucking tired. Did nobody to tell you to take? Well, they did tell you to take on all that role and have honor in being a goddamn maid. No, I understood where PK was coming from, and he says a lot of the fears that you have are irrational. He brings up the break-in once again and basically says that you want the kids to be around you. That's why you want them to stay in homeschool. She was like, well, I was thinking until they're about 14 years old. And he was like, no. And I really thought that was like a real conversation. Like, these are parents having conversations about how they want to raise their children. He has a lot of good points. She's like, you don't really know what be going on. But to want your children to have social relations, like, do they go on play dates? Do they have a group of friends they hang out with, other homeschool kids, where you actually take them out and so they can have that social interaction that they need to develop, right? I understood where PK was coming from. I kind of agreed with him. Maybe she want to keep them in homeschool until they get to middle school. And then when they go to middle school, because that's really where all the shit really, that's when the shit really go down, right? It starts like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. That's when the shit be going down. People start developing their personalities, how they approach things. It's like things that of that kind of development needs to happen. And you need to have relationships with other children your age and not just be in the house with mom and two other adult women. Homeschool is great. But the part of school that is important for me is the social relationships, right? How would you know if your child talked too much if they didn't have, she talks too much. That's what I got on my report card all the time. Talks too much. It's running my mouth. Because what are y'all talking about? None of this shit we going to use later in life. We need to learn how to be, how to socialize, girl. So that's what they need to learn. I was with PK. And I understand what Dorit said. She felt like a single mother. You act like you know what's going on. You need to do what's right and what's best for them. And I always make sure I'm doing what's right and best for them. And I think they can benefit. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you can find a private school, I don't know, that they can go to 3 days a week and homeschool 2 days a week. I don't know. There's something that you can do. I'm almost positive, right? There's some kind of arrangement that you can have with a private school or something that Dorit and PK can come up and kind of come to an agreement. Because I think they both have really good points. Like, you can't come in here and tell me what's best for these children and you don't be around them. But at the same time, we know that social relationships, right? How they do well socially, that comes with being around children, and that's good for them. what he's not saying like anything that's bad. I think what he's saying is good. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think. Erika's out with Mikey. She says she misses performing. She truly feels present. That's the only place she truly feels present is on stage. And the producer's like, that's the only place you feel present? And then she was like, oh, and during sex. I mean, like good sex. Okay, Erika. Erika is on Ozempic. She has the Ozempic old lady face. Sunken in old lady face. You're in an effort to be skinny, you lose the buoyancy. You lose the buoyancy in the face, right? You so busy injecting it with Botox, and even with Botox, it's doing something to the skin and the face. I don't know. That's wild that it's doing it to, and like you can look at people and tell like, oh, your skinny ass is on Ozempic because it's a different kind of I don't know, weight loss. Erika says she wants to do a residency in Las Vegas. I hope she does. She was like, ooh, she was like, she's been fascinated with Vegas since she was a little girl. Showgirls and money and blah, 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 bling, 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 everything. So she was like, I'm a hunter, honey. I want to hunt an elephant. She was like, girl, don't take it seriously. Like, I'm just playing. It's all in here. Because you know the people will be writing in, honey, talking about she wants to kill the elephants, honey. Because at first, you know, elephant is one of my favorite animals. So I was at first looked up, she talking about I hunt elephants. Bitch, you better not be. You better not be. Um, Kyle and Dorit go hiking. They're gonna go for a walk. And Kim, Erika Richards, the Virgo, shows up. I said, come through, Kim Richards. She was looking good. She said when she was in lockdown, she became a true hermit, as Virgos can do, and will do, and find comfort in it, right? So she started drawing on the walls in her house, and they were like, you're like really a good artist, like, and like drawing animals. And she was like, I was telling Kathy, if Paris wants me to draw something, because Paris has a new little baby, um, if she wants me to draw something on the wall for them, I'll do it. Kyle didn't even know that Paris had a baby, and she feels really bad. She was like, I feel really bad because when we're not in a good space, it affects my relationships with my nieces too, because they honor their mother by not. I don't think that that's cool. I don't think that that's cool, but that's how Kyle feels. That's why I don't think that it was cool for Sutton to say that to Kyle. You know what I'm saying? Because it really is a relationship she wants to work on, but they just can't seem to get it together. So, for whatever reason, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I don't know. But anyways, that was the end of the episode. It was good. Beverly Hills is good. Beverly Hills, I need to go back and watch Miami. I have a Miami review that's in the queue. Is waiting. There's only like, I think 19 or 17 minutes. I don't know. I have to make it public. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let me know what you thought about the Mad Hatter's party, honey. What you thought about what Sutton said. I take it back. I think Kyle has an issue with Sutton's relationship with Kathy. But just like Kyle doesn't want your nieces to stop talking to you when you and your sister aren't talking. So why would you expect Sutton's relationship with Kathy to change? I think maybe Kyle feels, I don't know, maybe Kyle feels like, oh, you didn't have my back. You didn't speak up and say, hey, oh, I know what it's like. I've had that conversation with Kathy before too. To me, when siblings are fighting, you should stay out of it. That's how I feel. Like, I'm not getting involved with that. They both have points. And like, because you don't even know that there's probably a deeper issue that you weren't even there for. You don't know nothing about. So you don't side with nobody unless it's like blatantly, like, you know, just down and out wrong. But if they're fighting and Kyle's crying and Kathy's like, no, I'm not like that. And it's like, girl, we don't know how far their issues go back, what sparked it. It could have been some shit that happened when they were kids and teenagers. We don't know. So that's why you would, when the siblings fighting, you be like, I can see where they both coming from, girl. I don't want no problems with nobody. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.